Ready? All right, Coach. Well, this is now your second year on the job. So with a full calendar year under your belt of planning and recruiting, what did you focus on during the offseason?
We really wanted to focus in on our guys getting in shape. We wanted them to be able to step into the season playing at a high level with that intensity that we want to bring on the defensive end. And our guys did a great job during the offseason. They worked extremely hard to get themselves in shape, so we're excited about the future of this program.
After seeing the quality of the competition in the Southland Conference last year, what kind of players are you looking to bring into the program moving forwards?
Well, we went out and we recruited some guys with some length. I think this year we're a lot taller. We have a little more athleticism, and we have some guys who are capable of scoring the basketball. So with that length and athleticism, we're able to play this style of defense that we want to and be more effective. And I think it matches us up well with the rest of our competition in the conference.
Well, staying with that length and athleticism, Jordan Harks and LaQuentin Miles are both guys that you brought in last year that had to sit out due to transfer rules. How big of an impact do you see those two having this year?
I think they have the ability to have a big impact. You know, if you look at LaQuentin Miles, about 6'4", 6'5", he can play the point guard position, and he's pretty athletic. I mean, he really excels in the open court, and I think he's going to do well for us in that area. And Jordan Harks just has a nonstop motor. I mean, defensively, offensively, he's crashing the boards and defending. So I look forward to those two guys having a big impact on our season.
Well, not including Harks and Miles, you have 8 new faces this year. How do you have the old players and the new players gelled yet, or how well have they gelled so far?
They've done a good job of gelling. I think the fact that everyone came in and went to summer school and had an opportunity to play some pickup games with one another and get used to their teammates' tendencies, it helped us a lot coming into this season. Plus, we have a lot of unselfish guys who want to win. So when you have that type of atmosphere, it makes the gelling process a lot easier.
Well, DeJuan Claiborne, Chris Henson, and Mark Rutledge are your only seniors this year. How big of a role do they need to play in terms of leadership to take this team where it needs to go?
I'll tell you what, once the season was over last year, during our off season last spring, Mark Rutledge really took ownership of his basketball team. He's brought the leadership that we wanted last year. He stepped into that role. DeJuan Claiborne's done a great job on the court during the preseason as well with some leadership. And Chris Henson, I expect him to be, pretty valuable for us this season to come in and give us a spark. But these guys recognize their last year, and they're going to push the other guys to make sure they have a great one.
Well, in your non-conference schedule, you play Stanford, Arkansas State, Iowa, Drake, and UNLV. Do you think this non-conference schedule is tougher than last year's, or how do the two compare?
I think it's right up there. You know, if you look at Missouri that we played last year, Oklahoma State, some of those guys, there were some pretty good teams that we played last season. This year, I think, it may be a little tougher. I'm not sure. We'll find out pretty soon. But we're excited to play against the top-ranked teams and talent. It helps us as a coaching staff, and as well it helps our our players play better.
What exactly does it help you guys do in scheduling these, because obviously that competition is a little better than the Southland, so is that kind of a stepping stone into the Southland to help you face better competition going in?
Yeah, it kind of prepares us for conference play. It gives our guys a gauge of where we are talent-wise, where we are as a program, where we're trying to get to. So it definitely helps our players recognize, what good teams do to be great. So it helps us in that aspect, and it helps our coaching staff. We get a chance to test our skills as coaches and see how we can prepare for some of the top teams.
Last year the record didn't really reflect the amount of games that you had that came right down to the last second, some tough losses last year. Do you think that this year's team can turn those tough last-second losses into big wins this year?
We're definitely working on it. We do a lot of situational work in practice to prepare our guys for those moments at the end of games. And last year I think we had the guys who worked extremely hard. We just didn't have the scoring ability that some of the players we have this year. So hopefully that'll give us an added edge this season towards the end of games, that we have guys who are capable of making big shots.
Well, coming from you, Coach, what can the fans expect to see from the 2011-2012 Bears?
Well, you're going to see the same effort you saw last year. These guys have been working extremely hard, and they're going to take a lot of pride in how we perform here on our home court. So it should be pretty exciting. I mean, we got a lot of athleticism, so you'll see a few more dunks this year, a faster paced game, and it's something that's going to be exciting.